It was good, yo, it's your boy Swifty. Today I'm back with another tutorial. In this one I'm gonna just show you how to make dark samples with flutes for like PYREX WHIPPA. First I just opened up a pad from Omnispheres, from a Palace from 808 Mafia, one of his banks. So first I went into the piano roll and I just went up there to the little arrow, drop down menu, helpers, scale highlighting like always. I went to the minor natural, then I clicked on G, and basically I just set my scale to G minor. So as you can see, you got the light shaded notes. These are the notes that you want to use, and the dark shaded ones are the ones you don't want to use. So as you can see, I just started with my root note. I just made a triad, like simple triad. So I skip one note in the scale, use the next one, skip one, use the next one. For the second chord, all I did was I copied the triad, and then I selected the two top notes and I just moved them up one note inside of the scale. So the A sharp goes to the C, that D goes into the D sharp. So that's basically the whole pattern. And then as you can see down there, I play a lot with the velocities like always. That way it just doesn't sound the same like all the way through. So I'm gonna just play the pattern like without effects. And next, for the effects, I went into the mixer track. I put it on one mixer track. Then on there I put Valhalla Vintage Verb default preset. I just messed with the decay knob and the mix knob. Then next, as you can see, I got magic switch. It's like a chorus effect, and I just turned down the mix a little bit. Then next I got finisher micro. So this is a free plugin. I highly recommend you getting it. I used the preset called infinity, and I just like turned down the amount. Then I put my stereo control on there to make it like very wide. Next I pulled up an EQ to get rid of some like harsh frequencies, and then a final EQ just to cut the lows and some of the highs. And now this is what it sounds like with the effects. So next up, I opened this library in Contact and I chose this preset. And I basically just wanted to use this just like the first sound, like as a pad. And I just did different chords. So for this one, I just started with the triad again. And I just copied the root note and put it up an octave. So for the next chord, I don't really know the theory behind it, but I just like duplicated the first one. Then I went up 5 semitones, then I pitched it down 1 octave. And as you can see, the only note that's different is the C. I didn't like how it sounded, so I just took it down to the A sharp, and there you have the chord. I'm gonna just play what it sounds like without the effects. So yeah, this is like super like ambient, dark, I don't know, I just really like the preset. So for the effects, I just routed this instrument to the same mixer track as the first one. So I got these same effects for the first pad and the second one. The next, I was like hearing a little melody in my head. I just wanted to add like this, like not loud, it's really like subtle, just to make a difference in like the arrangement during the beat. So I just opened up this library in Contact again, and I found this preset, and I just did this little pattern. So all I did was follow the root note for the first note, and then the D, the C, and then the D sharp. Right there are all the notes that I used. And if you go back to the chords, you're gonna see that the D is here, the G is here, the D sharp is here, and the C is here. So it's only notes that I've used inside of the chord because I know these are gonna work. I'm gonna just play you the pattern without the effects. As you can see, that's like very simple, like nothing crazy. So I just put effects, I put a reverb a lot, then I use the same effect that I used on the pad. This time I used the preset called simple ambience, and I turned it up. Finally I just used an EQ to cut a lot of the highs and the lows, and now this is what it sounds like with the effects. Next, I use the ARP from the same Contact library. This is the preset. Then for the pattern, I just went into my second pad. I copied the same exact chords. I duplicated them inside of this instrument, and this is what it sounds like without the effects. So yeah, once again, it's like a super ambient and like dark preset. I like the fact that it had like vocals on there, and I like the way it's like gated. Next, for the effects, I duplicated the ones that I used for the pad, and I just like tweaked a little bit more inside of the effects, but it's the same reverb. I just turned up the mix a little bit more. I used the same exact chorus from Magic Switch, and then I used the same infinity preset on Finisher Micro. I just turned down the stereo width on the stereo control a little bit, and then I used the parametric EQ to cut the lows and the highs, man. And this is what it sounds like with the effects. Alright, so now here comes, you know, the real sauce of this video. It's the flute. So for this flute, as you can see, I used some like one shots, and they're like licks and runs and phrases of like flutes, and I just like chopped it the way I liked it. I used like 3 or 4 different ones, and I just like put them together. So I'm just show you how it sounds by itself without the effects. By the way, I don't remember where I got these from, but you can look up the name and I'm pretty sure you can find that on Google. But next for the effects, I just put some reverb. I used a preset called Dark String Chamber, turn down the mix. Then I put a RC20. I just put some wobble, some space, and magnetic. Next I used this pancake too. This just like pans the sound from left to right, and I just turned down the mix and made the like sine wave a little tighter. That way it doesn't spread out all the way to the left ear and right ear. It stays a little bit centered. And by the way, this is a free plugin too, so I recommend getting that. Next I just made it wider with the stereo control. And lastly I just used an EQ to get the lows and a little bit of the highs. And this is what it sounds like with the effects. Yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, this flute, like, this is super hard. Like, this made the whole loop so different, so crazy. So I'm gonna just play the whole loop for you. There you have it, man, how to make like dark flute samples for PYREX WHIPPA. So I hope you liked the tutorial, you learned something, even though that's like super basic, super easy to do, but I know that a lot of people struggle with these like dark melodies. But honestly, the key to them is like sound selection. As you saw, I didn't even like put crazy effects or nothing. It's like the sounds by themselves were like crazy. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you want to see next. Don't forget to check out the Patreon, man. Classes from all the DK members, link in the description. It's the $10 subscription, gold membership. And yeah, bro, I'm just see y'all next time.
Hey yo, Swifty.